the ShieldNation Leaders Coaching Webinar. Do you have the 3 internal motivators that drive the most successful people in the world? And this is literally a book that was done that studied all of the people in the world and said, why are people successful? What is the thing that is common between them? And these 3 factors are common. It is so interesting because in Rome, we had the last final night, and we all kind of went around and shared, and they had a video person there, and they were, each platinum was sharing kind of what their success is about, and talking to the associate audience. So this is something you'll probably see soon in some convention or something. But Patrick Shaw said these 3 things. He said the 3 question marks. He in his description of why he's successful, he literally stated the 3 things. And I was like, so I went up to him and I said, oh, did you realize that there's actually research that shows that these are the 3 things that cause someone to be successful? And he was like, oh my gosh, so literally the reason he was describing his success and what was the basis or the driving motivators, and it was what you're going to learn today. So let's get into it. You're probably like, what are they, Darcy? All right, well, the first one is, I am purposed to succeed. You know inside in your inner self, and the truth, the place that talks to you that nobody else knows what you're saying to yourself, the thing that is talking to you is saying, I am designed to succeed. So I can and I will, because I'm supposed to. So if that is a key factor, because if something inside of you says, I am not even supposed to succeed, or you've been taught that success is evil or wrong or greedy or something like that, like me. I actually was raised that successful people are greedy and selfish and bad. Okay, so I've had to really study what is the truth about that. Now, if you worship money, that is bad. But if you serve people, and a side effect of serving people is that you get, it all comes from the motive of your heart. So if my motive is to serve people, and I happen to have success in their success, and especially this business model, we literally don't get paid unless we help someone succeed. It's the most brilliant model ever, because it's true, and it's not, you're not stuck under a manager at a corporation that's taking the credit for your ideas and you never get promoted. You're not dealing with those kind of issues. They're working at a company that's a family company that you don't really have the opportunity to grow because it's just, a smaller company and you're an employee. So a big corporate scene is kind of limited, and a small company sometimes limited. So this model, I can turn around and I can pull out of somebody everything that's in them so that they can succeed to their fullest. That is what you can do for yourself, and the sky's the limit. That is, but your inner success image says, I am designed to succeed. So let's say you have a problem with, let's say you don't really think that. And this is, everyone knows what they really think on the inside. So let's do a little testing here. Here's Qantas Airlines. So this plane was created by the company, Qantas, and this plane had a purpose. And the plane's purpose was to take you from A to B through the air. Okay, so put passengers in, fly somewhere else, let them out, and transportation. So that's the purpose of this airline. So when it was created, it was not created to crash. It was created to succeed, successfully take a passenger from point A to point B completely. So if you just sit there, if you have a problem in this person, I want to give you an assignment. I want you to look, literally, you can look at the phone you're on. You can look at the computer you're looking at. You can look at the chair right now, maybe the coffee cup you're drinking out of. Right now, you can think of everything around you. Look at the desk that you put your computer on. Was that desk made to fall? Was that computer made to crash? Was that phone made to not work? Even though sometimes they don't, but they're not made to not work. Okay, maybe if I dropped it, maybe if I put it in water, maybe if I abused the phone, it would work. But this plane here was made to fly and to be successful in its destination, in its purpose. So what about a car, BMW? Here we are, Legal Shield. So that BMW, somebody made that, somebody designed that. They put inside of the design everything necessary to make that car work the way it was meant to work. Nothing about this particular product that was ever designed to fail, ever. Never, never. So this product is made to succeed in the purpose it has, and that is to carry, again, this is a vehicle. All right, what about this? Okay, Apple phones. They're made for you to have texting and calendars and communication and phones and access to apps. Okay, all of that, those things that this was created for are made to succeed. So the purpose of this product is not to fail, not to not work. It is made to work, made to succeed. So are you. So the question is, do you feel like it? When you think about you, is there anything in you, like literally to the base of your thinking, because it's your core hard drive that drives you, the subconscious mind about you. Does it say to you, I am purposed to succeed? I was created to be fruitful. I was created to multiply. I was created to be successful in the thing that I was born to do. So there's, that's something that you have to work out. Now, that, first of all, I want you to look around you. I want you to look at everything that's ever made. And if you can tell me anything is ever made to fail, I think you can. I just want you to think about that and then process that in your brain. So if you're thinking you're not made to succeed, then you have an error. You have a foundational error that is, you're pushing your life through this error, okay, and you want to get rid of that because that makes life difficult, and you're always dealing with this bondage of I'm not made to succeed. So that's the first thing. But I want to give you another perspective. Okay, see this tree, this forest. Okay, so you have forest full of trees. So this is you looking in the mirror. You're going to see something. That's what you see. Right now, a forest full of trees. Well, what is in the tree? So you can just say, oh, this is just nothing. This is nothing. You know, I'm nothing. It's a forest full of trees. But inside the tree is this table and chairs. So here is a tree, and here is the product that's inside of it. So inside, when you pull out of that tree, you have this product. And you have other things. There's all kinds of things in those trees. There's a treasure box. There's all these utensils for a kitchen, and here's a front door. Inside the forest, inside the tree, are a lot of things that can be pulled out. So then the next assignment for you to think about in this area of am I purposed to succeed is what is in you? Now, when you go back and you think of the forest, these things you see on the screen right now, they were always able to come out of those trees from the beginning of time, 6,000 years ago. That front door could have been designed out of a tree, but people's understanding of the value of that tree or what was in that tree, they didn't know what was in that tree. And then as time went on, they realized, oh, wow, we can make a spoon. Wow, we can make a treasure. Wow, we can make a front door out of that tree. So in that tree was all of these things, all the way back to the beginning of time. So inside of you are so many amazing things. You just haven't pulled them out. So the fact that you haven't pulled them out doesn't change the truth that they're in there, because the forest had all of these products inside those trees all along. You have in you the potential to succeed and the design to succeed, whether you agree with it or not. So the fact that you may not agree with that doesn't change the truth that you were made to succeed. You were made to produce. You were made to be productive, to be fruitful, to give, to serve. All those things are in you. So these are 2 assignments for you to think about. What is in me that hasn't come out? What haven't we seen in you that the world is waiting for? So that's the first subject of what are the 3 characteristics. I am purposed to succeed. I'm designed to succeed. I'm supposed to succeed. I'm going to come from a position, instead of trying to believe I'm supposed to succeed, I'm going to start training my mind to come from a position, of course I am. I'm made to succeed, so what do I have to do to get there? So the second part is I will prove it. So second characteristics, the first one is I'm purposed to succeed. The second one is I will prove it. There's something inside of a person that says, I'm going to prove it. This need to prove themselves inspires them to sacrifice present gratification in pursuit of future attainment. Says, I'll do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. I can remember the very first 25 years ago when I started in this business, and I kind of like saw all these people, they were making all this money and they were successful, and I was like, okay, all right, so I don't really know what you have to do, but I know that I want to be one of those people. So I remember they had a big event in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and one of the corporate officers was there. So I walk up to him, and the top position in the company was National Marketing Director, and I walked up to this person, and I put out my hand, and I'm 26 years old, and I said, hello, Fred, my name is Darcy Hoffman, and I'm going to be a National Marketing Director. And he remembers that, as this particular guy, and I was just so, yeah, absolutely. That's, that's where the, like, sorry, that's where, whatever you decide. Okay, so my mind, I'm like, okay. So my first month of the business comes, and it was like, and the I will prove it is to myself. I will prove that I can make the calls. I will prove that I can be disciplined to myself. I will prove to myself I have integrity.
Hey, Darcy, hold on a second. Hey, someone's on the speaker line, and we're getting terrible interruptions and feedback. I'm not sure that. I'm not sure what it is. Trish, can you find a way to mute it out?
It's somebody who didn't dial into the webinar, who's only on the phone line. If you could please mute your phone, it's greatly appreciated.
All the speakers mute out their phones. All the speakers mute out the phones. All the listen lines are muted out, right, Trish?
That's right. Everybody I can mute is muted.
I need everybody on the speaker line to mute out right now, please.
John, it's when someone freeways somebody in, or they call in the number. But anyways, okay, so I will prove it. I just went and started tennis, and I am learning to play tennis. Okay, I'm an athlete, and I go to play tennis, and I go to a clinic. There's 12 people, and what they do is they separate you in groups of 6 on 2. And you're playing for like a half an hour, and then I didn't know how this whole thing worked, but after you play, the 2 instructors are watching you, and they're seeing who's good, who's bad, who should be. I paired with the worst person on the court. She can barely hit the ball back, and they put me with her, and they put her and me against 2 80-year-old women on the tennis court. Here's Darcy Hoffman, an athlete, but hasn't learned tennis, on the court with the worst player playing 2 80-year-old women. And guess what happens? They beat me. They beat us, me and this lady I'm playing with. I am like literally thinking this, in my mind, I wanted to just cry. I cannot believe how terrible I am. But I said to myself, then, I will master tennis. I will. I don't know how I'm going to master it. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know who is going to teach me. I will find a coach. I will master this. I will get better. I am not going to live like this. There's an example of what it means to say, I will prove it. So if you went and made a presentation and they didn't get it at all, they didn't see the value of the product, you're going to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to get better. I'm going to find a mentor. I'm going to find somebody. I'm going to read more. I'm going to practice more. I'm going to tape myself. I'm going to video myself in front of my computer. I am going to prove that I can make a powerful presentation that inspires people to want to have our service, because it bothers me if I make a presentation that they don't understand. Then that person could go without our product and could have like last night in our home, Angela, a good friend of mine who started with the business, she went without the product because nobody told her about it, and it cost her over $15,000 of stuff that happened. So she is like so desperate and passionate, I should say, to go out there and share. So the I will prove it, she's not having some success in some areas, but she's not going to stop because she knows the value, she knows what she wants to do, and she's going to prove to herself that she's going to master these skills. So that's the I will prove it. All right, the third one is I have impulse control. The more I sacrifice, the more hardships I endure, the more confident I will feel and the better equipped I will be to accomplish still more demanding acts of discipline. An example, I'm in college. Okay, so I'm in this little town of 3,000 people, and I say to myself, okay, in order for you to grow, you need to do something comfortable. So I go to college, which is 3 hours away, and that is a big deal because a lot of people in my town did not go to college. So I end up going to college, and I think to myself, if I can go to college, I don't know anyone there, I mean no one, and I can meet friends. I'm very shy. I didn't know how to engage very well, so I had to go and work on those skills. I had to say hi to people first, and I had to walk into rooms where I didn't know anyone and learn how to engage and feel and develop friendships and things like that with people I have zero, like I don't even know. So I did that, and it was the greatest year. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So then I went and got a job as a camp counselor, and I thought, okay, if I can go to this camp and become a camp counselor and up in Chicago now and not know anybody, it's going to be so uncomfortable. I'm going to walk in, I don't know anybody, and then I have to address that. I have to face that fear and do it. And so I did it, and it was awesome. Okay. Sorry about that.
Out what that is.
That is just unbelievable. Okay, so the thing about impulse control, it means that I will be, the present pain equals the future prosperity. The fact that it's going to be uncomfortable in the present, when I first went to college, or I went to that new camp, or I went up to Michigan and I opened up, I didn't know anyone, and I was very uncomfortable. But I knew that because I was going to do that, because I was going to call all the people my first month in this business, and it was going to be uncomfortable, I understood that by doing these things, planting these seeds, the law of the harvest says I will have success on the other side. So I never focused on success, ever. I focused on the habits, the ability to have impulse control, to say no to the movies, no to going out, no to dinner with the friends when I had a meeting or a briefing, or I just disciplined and made decisions knowing I had to lay that foundation in order to have that future prosperity. So there's the impulse control. Those are the three things. So let's, here's an example of somebody without impulse control. In the Bible, it's talking about Haggai, and this guy's wanting to be successful, and the Lord says, give careful thought to your ways. You have planted much but harvested little. You eat but never have enough. You drink but never have your fill. You put on clothes but you are not warm. You earn wages but only to put them in a purse with holes in it. Give careful thought to your ways. This is your impulse control problem. So here's an example of somebody, if you feel like you're like out there and you're planted, but nothing's, maybe you don't have, maybe you're planting with a wrong motive. Because I believe that as you give, it shall be given unto you. So give with the right motive, the right heart, the right servant leader position of thinking, I need to go present to this family, or let this family know about it, or let this company know about this, because it's best for them that they know about it. So my planting is with a right motive, and then I harvest a lot. Favor comes and abundance comes. But when you plant because you're focused on, yes, you know, you have reality in life, and we are having to make a living and things. So you're not like la la through life. So you're planting. If you're, I've seen people planting with this attitude. You can just, they talk too much. It's really, they're talking about why you should do it because of that they did it. They're not asking you questions, finding your pain, finding out how they can serve your life, seeing if it's a fit for you. They're kind of just talking at you and just trying to convince you to do have the product as a business, have the product to protect your family, or have the business side of it. So that is a great check for yourself about be careful to think about your ways. All right, so I am purposed to succeed, plus I will prove it. Those two characteristics are what create a driving ambition, kind of a chip on your shoulder, kind of like I am supposed to win and I'm going to prove it. I am an athlete and I can play tennis, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to have this driving ambition to get my lessons until I get better. I know people want this product. I know people need, and so I've talked to 10 duds today that don't get it, but that doesn't matter. I am going to prove that this is something that I can do in the right people, that I can find the right matches to build a successful team and make a difference in the marketplace. It's like a driving thing, this chip on your shoulder kind of deal that keeps you going. The other side of the coin, I am purposed to succeed, and I have impulse control. Those two things create the willingness to endure hardship. So my willingness to go and do stuff, to make those calls, or my tanning spots, to knock on doors and walk up and down streets and pass out flyers when I was 19 years old, or in this business when I locked and loaded my first 30 days and said, I'm going to call everybody I know because somebody out there is like me. Somebody wants to hear about this service. Somebody is looking for a business for extra income. I'm going to endure the pain of some people not getting it and not focus on that. I'm going to keep going. And so I endure that's the grit. I endure the hardship of the potential people that don't understand and move past that to the vision. You know, I endure it for the joy set before me. So all three together, you've got the willingness to endure hardship, which means the discipline, and you're going to do whatever it takes. Harness to a driving ambition. I'm going to do it until I prove it. And that creates a deferred gratification machine. So, which is a person willing to do whatever it takes today in order to create success tomorrow. So that is the three characteristics. And when I think about myself, I absolutely know that those three things are operating in me that help me to get up and do what needs to be done to have the success that I want and to serve people the way I should. So let's turn it open for discussion. And John and Bob, I guess I'll turn it over to you two. Are you
All right,
there?
great job. Yeah, we're here. I had to get off mute. So fantastic. What a great call. Guys, here's what we'll do is raise your hand if you have a question in respect to anything that's taking place in this webinar, comment, aha moment, and we'll throw it out to you. This next part is really for you guys. In the meantime, Bob or Jerry, anybody on the speaker line, or Teresa, any comments while we're waiting for folks to go to the dashboard and raise their hands?
Hey, Bob's here. Great information. I tell you, you know, John, years and years now, you've always talked about paying the price for the promise. You know, are you willing to, you know, pay that price? I actually call it the privilege. Are you willing to pay the privilege for the promise? And that's exactly what Darcy's sharing here. And, you know, what's the price? The price is, you know, maybe giving up a Saturday once a month here, you know, to plug into the Super Saturday events. You know, maybe it's an evening event there in your local market. You know, it's one weekend, a quarter or half a year to come out to the big events that go on. And that's the price. That's the small price, you know, to get around the successful people, to keep learning, to keep sharpening your axe. The price is right here, you know, getting on this webinar. This is incredible. The people who get on here live, you know, you're all awesome, especially, you know, on the West Coast where it's, you know, 6:30 in the morning. That's what we're talking about here. It's so small. It's all the 1%ers that absolutely add up, and over time, you know, you look like a hero. It's like the most amazing thing, but it's that daily discipline, daily habits, Darcy, that you talk about in your habits book that really make it all work. So I love it, and it's all about, again, you look at anybody successful, anybody, sports figures, what have you, you know, anybody, they've all paid the price. And that's what we're doing here. We're paying the price, the privilege to have that promise. What's the promise? It's the financial independence. It's the time freedom that this company, Legal Shield, absolutely delivers on. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it. Good stuff. Absolutely. Price to promise. I think more people would be willing to commit to that price if they kind of understood the promise. And Legal Shield is very clear. When there's just shy of 200 millionaire club members, you know, let's see, $2 million a week in commissions being paid to the field, testimonials throughout North America of how people are benefiting and creating peace of mind because of this tremendous membership. And the fact that we're going to be able to double, triple, and quadruple those numbers is just flat out exciting. The best is truly yet to come. Jerry Lafredo, I see your hands up. So real quick, let's go out to Arizona. Millionaire Club member, Mr. Jerry Lafredo.
Hey, hi, John. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Sure can.
Hey, you know, as Darcy was going through this, I was reminded of a movie a long time ago, Chariots of Fire, that many of you probably have seen. And speeches on the front end of that in college was that the purpose of that institution was to find the greatness in each one of them and bring it out. And it's kind of what we're talking about here. They know that it's in there. It's just a matter of finding what it is, the motivations or the activities that bring that greatness out and put it to use. And the second thing is the do the thing and you have the power. I don't remember who the author of that is, but I mean, that to me is kind of the number one thing for getting to the success that you want, and that is you can't just study it. You have to get out there and do it, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. And that's kind of what we're talking about in number 3. You know, I have the impulse control. I'll do what I need to do, and I'll get better at it. So Hey, thanks a bunch. This was great. Back to you, John.
Hey, Jerry. I think it was either the founder or CEO of IBM, a guy named Watson, that said, do the thing, you'll have the power. And, I know that one of the most important things in life is to show up, but not just show up, but to be attentive, be where you are. I don't know how many times I'm with people or how many times I go to a restaurant and I see people that are supposedly doing community. Maybe they're even on a date, but they're really not, because they're not even there. They got their little PDAs, they got their little cell phones, and they're just sitting there texting and looking at their, personal device instead of looking at the person across from them and having communication. And, guys, we're pretty straight up. We do these calls, we invest. Darcy spends a lot of time preparing and investing during the week. Why? For her? No, for you. And I can just look through our attendee list right here, and I can see right now, as a matter of fact, I can scroll through that, and there's a little button on there that shows who's attentive and who's not attentive. And it's just kind of sad that, this investment that we make for you will return 30, 60, 100-fold, but you got to show up. Now, just being on the webinar isn't showing up. I don't know about you, but I've got 3 pages of notes. I got 3 pages of notes. I'm going to put this in my Friday webinar, my manila folder. I put that in with my training materials because I go back and review and know that this can be extremely beneficial for whoever I might be talking to at a Super Saturday, maybe a one-on-one. Always investing, always a servant to help others achieve that potential, that purpose, that prosperity, that success that's in them because of trainings like this. And then I can go through our webinar this morning and I can pick out 10, 15, 20 people who are not attentive. It means your computer screen's off, you're doing something else, and when it comes to simple daily disciplines, that's kind of a sad commentary, and that might be the reason, that might be part of the reason you are where you are today. It's tough love, guys. It's tough love that, helps people, move toward that promise. So anyhow, let's go out to Marv Worthy and get a comment from Mr. Marv Worthy out in the Pennsylvania market. Marv, great to have you. Marv, you're on mute. All right, we'll come back to Marv when he gets off, and we'll go out to Miss Teresa Wright Johnson. Teresa, good morning.
Good morning. This was an excellent webinar. The whole time I was just thinking about my affirmation that I read every morning, and I could definitely see this as something that Patrick Shaw would say that he will do, that he's done, because I remember him always saying, I will until. But my affirmation says, and I believe that I am purposed to succeed. And so every morning my affirmation says, I will never become the definition of what someone else said I should be. I was born to inspire people and teach possibilities. I was born for greatness, and that can never be changed. I will always speak to my mountain and make it bow down to me. Yes, I will hit some speed bumps along the way, but I will continue to be the woman God purposed me to be. I was made, designed, and created for such a time as this. And I mean, this is my hashtag blessed and highly favored, because I think in order for you to understand that you're perfect to succeed, you have to do a lot of self-talk. And that self-talk has to be positive affirmation. Sometimes we let that self-talk talk us out of so many things. So you're talking negative to yourself. I don't think I can do that. I'm not sure about that. Well, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. It's kind of like people saying right now, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to go to the convention. Well, automatically your brain starts to shut down. It simply says your subconscious, shut down. We don't have to be creative in our thinking, because she said she's not going to the convention. She said she's not going to hit senior director. She said she's not going to hit executive director. You got to be careful about what you're telling yourself. And this is so great, because if you're thinking from a positive perspective, then it's I will until. As we said here, I will prove it. I will show you that it can be done. That's what excites me the most, is when people tell you you can't do something, and if you really feel strongly about it, in your mind you're saying, you just watch me. You're so busy telling me what I can't do, you just watch me. And so that's, this is perfect. I just think that we have to all realize that we are purposed for something great. We have so many great things within us, like Darcy showed the tree in the forest, but there's so many things that come out of that forest, and there's so many things within us, and that's why being able to surround yourself around positive individuals, because those individuals can help bring out a lot of things that you think that are not in you. And so I just wanted to share that because I think this is excellent. Thank you so much for sharing.
Teresa, I love it. I absolutely love it, those affirmations. And I got goosebumps just thinking about it. I know that my mindset is I will not be denied. I am purposed to win. I always, when Darcy and I first started going to the business opportunity meetings, this is 20 years ago, when we looked around the room, our attitude was, we will have the largest circle up. We will have the largest group of, back then it was distributors, today it's called associates in the room. We started by ourselves, and we had to sign that first recruit. We had to sign that first membership, but there was a starting point. 1 led to 2, 2 led to 4, 4 led to 8, 8 led to 16, 16 led to 32. We were always focused on the doubling, the tripling, the quadrupling. We knew exponential growth could come, but we looked, and we always had a competitive, we will not be denied, we will win attitude. And, we looked around, the results were there, and so have that attitude to be the ambassador of Legal Shield in your marketplace. Have that attitude to be, the person who is the strongest executive director in the marketplace. Have that attitude that you will have the largest circle up in the biz op meetings. Have that attitude that you will be the strongest group producer with more, new groups open than anybody else. And I love the picture of the forest, because make sure that you surround yourself, that your associations are investing in you, in respect to the mindset you have for the future that is available. In other words, have people that are sold out on your dreams, your goals, your desires, your aspirations. Never let seeds of doubt come in from associations of people who don't think like you, who don't think big, who don't think toward that success and winner attitude of life. Marv, I think you're off mute, so we'll try you again.
Can you hear me, John?
We can.
Fantastic. Awesome webinar, Darcy. I'm reminded of something you said to me, John, a long time ago. Be here a year from now. Be here a year from now. And I'm also reminded of a quote I heard in 1989, I'll never forget, by Les Brown, that said, you have to be willing to do the things today that others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow that others won't have. And what that means in essence is that I got to be willing to participate in my own rescue. I love that. Somebody said this on this webinar, one webinar, and I just love it. You have to be willing to participate in your own rescue. And that means getting up every day and doing the activity to make the difference, and so that you can create the results that you want. When I wake up every morning now, John, the thing that I say to myself is that I'm going to lead and walk into my inheritance. I'm going to walk into my inheritance. I am not every interaction may be perfect, but it will be purposed. And so I recognize that I was born to do this business. I've been gifted to do this business, and I will be successful in this business into my inheritance. And you said something, the wonderful thing about what I understand to be clear is that I can pray all day long, but prayer without works is dead. And so I got to go out and walk into my inheritance. And so this webinar is so on time and so powerful. I'm going to make sure that every person on my team who understands the value of this opportunity and understand that they have been gifted to be successful hears this webinar. It is so right on spot. And Darcy, thank you so much for all that you've done to create today's webinar. I'll give it back to you, John.
Hey, Marv, appreciate it. Yeah, and I also just extend a big thanks to Darcy. She does just a fabulous job her investment into these webinars can start as early as 4 and 5 days before the webinar starts. She's a master of detail. She's a master of study, and you can just see here, the results that come from really that investment. And so, Marv, appreciate it. Great comments, and you're going to walk to your inheritance, and I'm going to run to mine. So I had to do that to my friend Marv. We're very competitive. We challenge each other in basketball about any other thing that involves the sport. So I just had to throw that out to mess with Marv. Marv, love you,
it's all
man.
good.
Great stuff.
Love you too, brother.
All right. Well, anybody else from the speaker line, Darce, any other final comments from you? A fantastic webinar. By the way, it is pre-recorded. Trish does that, and it will be up on the website. And Trish, usually when do we have that back up for people to can review later today, or those that have to work or have appointments in the morning? I've got a lot of calls from folks who have appointments, have enrollments, and things like that always want to get into this tremendous kind of drive time university. So Trish, when will it be up? Trish? Darce, do you know typically when these get back up on the ShieldNation website?
Within 2 hours.
Within 2 hours. Fantastic. So within 2 hours they can have it. Darce, any final comments from you?
Just on this slide here, a deferred gratification machine. The reality today is drive up window, lottery ticket, become a millionaire, put the cream on, get the plastic surgery, eat too much, cut your stomach out. There's all these or take a pill that makes you lose weight. Everybody's looking for the quickest or the easiest or the unprincipled way to success. And this whole webinar is which is in the lacking principle of the people that are looking for that avenue, and they never get there. You ever meet those people that are looking to get there quick and get there at a shortcut, and they're always broke? And the key is they may experience success for a bit, but it's like sand. It'll eventually have a wave hit it, and it'll just go right back out to the sea. It's not the rock. The rock is the right principles. They're the understanding that all things have a price to pay. All things have a deferred gratification machine. The whole marketing companies of all of the TV shows you see or anything you see everywhere, it's like, for 2 cents you can have this, and get rich quick, or get thin easy, and get fit without working, and all these kind of concepts. Or I made $500,000 in my first week selling something over the internet. Create your own blog and you'll be a millionaire in 2 weeks. Those kind of things. It's just everywhere. And it's tough. You've got to decide, I am going to stick to truth, universal truth. God created everything, and it's, you'll reap what you sow, period, end of story. It's a principle. So you can try to cut the, shortcut the system, but it's not going to work. And I love the fact that in the, when God teaches the principles of how he made it, the creation, he always uses a seed principle. The kingdom of God is like a seed, and the kingdom of God is like, it's always like these stories of seeds. And the reason he uses a seed is because you can't cheat a seed. When you plant a seed in the ground, you can't speed it up, you can't make it happen, you can't shortcut the system or cheat the system or anything, because a seed has a process, period. And there's no shortcut or scammy way through that process. It is that you seed, and then there's time, and then there's harvest, period. That is the reality. That's the truth. And all these commercials and all this worldly stuff that comes at you tells you there's a better way. Matter of fact, a lot of people in Legal Shield will even tell you, hey, just get on this email thing, or just send it out to 1,000 people in your contacts, and you'll be rich overnight. And they tell you this kind of and it's very tempting. But I've decided to go with what I know here. I do this. This is what I believe in. All right, so I go with the truth of how things are made and that principle of seed time and harvest. So I can cheat on a test and get an A. I can even get into a job. People can get jobs and promotions all unethically, but you cannot plant a seed and get it to harvest by cheating the system. You have to follow the laws of seed time and harvest, the laws of the harvest. And that's the thing. If you will connect, if you will say to yourself, I'm done listening to these people that try to tell you how to get rich quick or get there faster, and just understand that life and success is really built, those people that get on those get rich quick type people that are telling you all that, if you watch them and you know about them and you knew their story 6 months from now, you would say, wow, it all imploded. Oh, wow, why aren't they ED? Where are they? I thought they were the big successful story, and then now you don't even hear about them. I can't tell you enough how important it is to me for you to put blinders, like don't look left and don't look right. Just go forward with a straight line with the right principles and trust them, because God will prove to you that if you follow his ways and operate in the principles of the kingdom, the principles of the way God made the world, and follow that, you will succeed. Okay, and then stay away from all that other nonsense. And think seed, then time, and then harvest, no matter what. And then keep working on those skills. So that's it, John.
Fantastic. And not that anybody needs this reminder, but millions of people today in North America are not living life on their terms. Millions of people today in North America will be affected by identity theft. Millions of people today are affected by stress and worry, and we have an answer for all of them. So let's go out and protect some families. Go ahead and watch that cash flow come, see our businesses expand, and watch things explode. You guys are awesome. Thanks again for all the comments. Darce, thanks for a great webinar. Be blessed, guys. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye for now.